Hello everyone, Marco Collective Gamer CG77 here, and today we'll be doing the quick overview of Ironclad for the Neo Geo. Ironclad comes for you by Saros Company Limited, a Japanese video game company established way back in May of 1994, who became a second-party developer for SNK, who did work on titles for the MVS, the Neo Geo CD, and even the Neo Geo Pocket Color. It did close its doors back in 2000, but between 1994 and 2000, they did develop and help publish, of course with SNK, publishing the games, the following titles: Art of Fighting 2, World Heroes 2, Quiz King of Fighters, Stakes Winner. This game, Ironclad, also known as Chotetsu Breakinger, Pleasure Goal 5 on 5 Mini Soccer, Ragnargard, also known as Shinoken, Stakes Winner 2, The Irritating Maze, Shock Troopers The Second Squad, Irritating Stick, of course, Sam Show 1, and Samurai Showdown 2, along with The Last Blade, Beyond the Destiny. And just to clarify, the last three games, Sam Show 1, Sam Show 2, and Last Blade, Beyond the Destiny, are Neo Geo Pocket titles, not the arcade release. And this game, of course, was released back in 1996, was released for the Neo Geo CD, was also released on the Wii Virtual Console, Microsoft Windows, which you can get via Humble Bundle. You can also get on Good Old Games, and if you're a Prime member, you were able to get it for free as part of their July Gaming Bundle. It is, of course, a shoot-'em-up, as you can see from the video here. The Japanese name is Chotetsu Breakinger, which is basically stands for Ultimate Brickinger. It's a shoot-'em-up game, and of course was released in 1996, though this version is the free Amazon Games version that I was basically able to play and get. The game itself is a pretty standard horizontal scoring shooter. The actual kind of robotic portion is very much kind of like the Force Pod in R-Type. So you can actually shoot. A button is just shooting, and if you press the B button, it actually sends out the robot. The C button brings it back to you. So it is pretty unique. As like the Force Pod in R-Type, you can use the robot to actually also protect and protect you from, say, incoming bullets or asteroids, things of that nature. There's also a screen clearing bomb as well, which can be used as per these type of titles. And this game also takes some other ideas from other shooting staples. For example, not just taking the Force Pod from R-Type, it also has branching paths, much like, say, some of the Darius games. When you finish or complete a stage, you get to choose your next stage. There's 5 different stages overall. Of course, from each stage, you get to choose one of 2 paths. And of course, like most shooters, at the end, you do face a final boss. There's definitely some power-ups to the game itself overall, but it really just increases the kind of overall force and power of the weapon that you choose. There are 3 ships to choose from, each with their own stats. The Bristol Mark 0 is a pretty standard fighter. It's kind of pretty much your overall all-rounder. It's got pretty average speed, pretty average power, kind of a lower shot though. Then you've got the Fokker GV7, which is more what they call a sniper ship. It's got fast speed, fast shots, but very low in power. And last, you've got a bomber, which is the Rogozarski, which is slow, but strong shot, and of course, strong power. With the left arm of your fighter, you can equip different weapons to the main ship, along with the robot that gets attached. And as I mentioned, you can pick up power-ups in the game, depending, of course, on the title and which arm you grab it with. If you don't grab anything for your left arm, it basically just shoots pretty standard kind of bullets or pellets. Next, if you do grab a beam icon, which is colored blue, it does have a pretty strong front beam. If you choose green, which is more of a missile icon, and then the last is a flame shot, which releases a powerful fire blast that basically goes around the ship. With the right arm, if you don't choose anything, it also basically launches the robot, kind of like a battering ram. It rams it right into the enemy. If you choose a drill, it basically launches with a drill attack. Purple basically saws through the whole screen and slashes any enemy that comes in front of it. And red is for a mace, which basically means that the robot spins with spiked maces surrounding it. Now, if you're a fan of shooters, this game fortunately is pretty cheap to pick up. You can purchase it from Good Old Games. You can also get it, of course, on the Amazon Prime store. Hopefully, if you looked out when it was released in 2020, that you basically got it for free. Amazon Prime also released a lot of its Neo Geo titles for free on that format. This game itself is definitely worth it. If you did want to pick it up on Good Old Games, it's definitely worth the $7.99. But again, I got this game free. So for a free title with the branching gameplay, kind of borrowing some of the gameplay elements from R-Type, as I mentioned, with the Force Pod, and also the power-up items, much like, say, pretty much really any horizontal shooter, and then branching paths like Darius, I would say this game is definitely a decent get. It's a fun, like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending on how hard you set the difficulty at. Of course, if you are emulating the title, it's free, and you're basically choosing whatever difficulty you want, especially if you choose to play the quote-unquote AES or console version of the game. The game itself, again, hard to knock it. It's a good solid 7. It's unique enough. The graphics are well done. The gameplay is smooth. Animation is decent. The music definitely matches the kind of overall theme, and definitely fun to listen to. But would I really say download the music and play it in my car? Definitely not. But definitely enough, and it's definitely serviceable for the game. Sound effects, explosions, shots are great. Fortunately, there's no annoying voices like some other shooters. Like, for example, every time you pick up a power-up, that is not there. So I am very, very glad for that. Like I said, it's definitely still a worthy shooter. Pick it up on Good Old Games. Pick it up on Amazon Prime. But otherwise, fun game. I'm glad I was able to get this for free. Definitely worth, a fun pickup and 1-2 hours kind of play. I do wish that Good Old Games releases an app for, say, the Steam Deck, because this would be fun to play as a handheld. Or if Saurus is listening, I know they're closed already, but I'm sure somebody must own the license or could or get the license. But a collection of Saurus games would be amazing to have. I'm thinking it could be possible, since ACA or Hamster does own a lot of the other titles that Saurus has had, and hopefully it's eventually available on there. It may actually be. I don't recall seeing it or buying it for Nintendo Switch, but who knows, it might be actually available there.